Greetings, friends, and welcome to the 3 Minute Horror Show. I have a very special guest here with me today. Today's guest is the multi-talented star of the Grotesque and I'm Haunted series. It's Canadian singer, songwriter, dancer, and actress Elizabeth Chamberlain. It's Mildred Moyer herself. Elizabeth, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Before we get started, would you like to give the audience a little background on yourself?
Yeah, I mean, your introduction was pretty spot on. I am all of those things. I am Canadian. I am mostly known for Grotesque and I'm Haunted, I think right now. There's a lot on the back burner that is yet to be released, but for what's out there right now, that's what most people know me from.
Do you ever get recognized as Mildred in public?
I actually Not a lot, but I
No.
do see a lot of people who I do get recognized as Mildred Moyer, but I see a lot of people who actually know the movie but then won't recognize me, and that really surprises me. I literally got my phone fixed at a phone shop once, and the guy knew my dad, and he was like, "Yeah, your dad's involved in Grotesque." Knew that my dad was, and was talking to me and hadn't made the connection. And I was like, yeah, like that was really fun to make. And he's like, oh, were you in it? I was like, yeah. And then I told him I played Mildred Moyer, and he was like, oh, you must have lost a lot of weight, is what he said. And I'm like,
Really?
he was saying everything like it was supposed to be a compliment, but it just kept getting worse and worse.
Oh, man.
And I was like, okay, I need to stop. So that's probably the most memorable. Honestly, most of what I get recognized for are like my live shows. That's where people go, "Oh, I saw you on stage." So, yeah, it happens.
So I'm always interested to hear about how highly creative people got started down their path. Have you always been drawn to create?
Yeah, I have. That is something that when this kind of career is hard, and when you think, why am I doing this? What is going on? I think that I can't really do anything else. I was born to be an artist of some sort, of some flavor. That's just ingrained in my DNA. It's not really like my brain doesn't really operate in any other way. So yes, ever since I was little, I started off like just doing singing around the campfire, tap dancing. I used to like tape pennies to my shoes and tap dance for my parents, like just everybody watch me do something random, and that's what I would always do. And then I started writing songs when I was really little. I used to write songs for my friends, just for us to sing kind of thing. It's always been very natural to me to involve that kind of artistic stuff in my life.
What did you draw inspiration from as a child?
Um, Honestly, I feel like as a child, it's uh like inspiration isn't really drawn from anywhere. It just comes kind of from within. Nowadays, it's like, oh, let me go, find inspiration or go find the thing. But as a child, it just kind of flows through you, right? It's just like I don't think that there's anything that I sought outside of myself in order to get inspiration as a child. It all just pop, pop, pop in your head, and for the most part, it still does for me too. But I think as a working artist, as doing this as a career, you need a little bit of a refined taste and a refined eye and more critical, thinking abilities than as a child. So
Right.
so yeah, it's a little bit more of a job now, but
Yeah.
it still is very natural. It still comes through.
Did you have any musical heroes growing up? Like, for example, I had Ace Frehley, who just passed away a couple of days ago, unfortunately. But yeah.
That's something that I often didn't have, to be honest. When
Ah.
people would ask me like, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" or what's your favorite artist?" or "What's your favorite song?" I always and still, I don't know, like I just like things. My very first time that I had like a favorite band, I was so proud of myself. I thought it was so cool. It was Maroon 5, and I
Hmm.
was a preteen teenager kind of at that time, and I thought that that was the coolest favorite band ever. But that was pretty advanced. Like when I was little, I didn't really have anything. My music, um, my musical world, I guess, mostly came from church because I sang in the church choir. So if you count like hymnals, if you count the Bible as my musical inspiration, then maybe, yeah.
So, what kind of a kid were you? It sounds like very artistic, but what kind of things did you like to do as a child?
Um, it's hard to say. Like sometimes, when other people have opinions about your childhood, it
Mm.
looks a little different than what your observations were. I think I was an extremely good kid. I always got really, really good grades. I was the equivalent of like the valedictorian for my elementary school kind of thing, like
Okay.
highest grades, where it was in all of the sports and excelled at all of them. Kind of a type A kind of kid. However, I'm not going to brag too much about myself. I also had a lot of issues with authority. I didn't want to listen to rules that I didn't understand. I was like, if somebody can explain to me why this rule is a good rule, then I'll follow it, you know? And most of the time, you know, people would, but some teachers were just like, I'm the adult. You know, you must listen to me and I don't need to explain to you, which is also
Yeah.
fair. You can't explain everything to a 6-year-old or whatever. But um but for the most part, like I've always had really strong morals. I've always had a really strong sense of justice. Always have tried my best. I don't like, you know, causing problems or conflict or something. I always wanted to be praised and, you know, thought of as a good kid and whatever. That was always really important to me. So that kind of drove me to do well in all of my areas. Honestly, like I peaked in grade 3. Like that was my peak. It's all downhill from there. So yeah.
Well, I think that your sense of morality, your personal sense of morality, is going to come up a little bit later when we talk about Mildred, because I think that shines through.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing to get into. It's a conundrum. She's a conundrum because she is both very moral and very brutal at the same time.
Yeah, and
Mm.
as an actor, like the way that I do acting anyway, I find it is my job to make sense of a senseless character. You know, it's like, yeah, Elizabeth Chamberlain is nothing like Mildred Moyer, but how can Mildred Moyer be like Elizabeth Chamberlain? Like, how can I make it in my brain fit and actually work? And I remember lots of conversations with Brandon. I'd be like, why does she do this? This doesn't make sense. Or you know, like I'd be like asking him all these things, and often he had reasons for them. Often he was like, oh, this is because of this, and this is because of this rule, and this is whatever. And then sometimes he's like, he never says these actual words, but I think I need to say this to myself. Elizabeth is not that deep. She's, you know, like she is in a very fictional world, you know, like she is very much not based in reality, and that is okay. So sometimes I have to remind myself that when I'm reading the scripts and I'm going like, how can I get myself to a place where where this makes sense? It doesn't have to make sense all the time, just most of the time.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you always knew that you wanted to be an artist.
Yes, I very much did. When I was a kid, art, like being an artist wasn't really like a career or a job that I considered. It was just like I will always be an artist, but I will do other things.
Mm.
I wanted to be a veterinarian. That was one of the ones I took very seriously as a child. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be an astronaut so badly, and then I just got way too tall, so that was out the window. Lots and lots of things. I wanted to be lots and lots of things.
Mhm.
And in my this is something I say very often. I get to be all of them. I get
Yeah.
to be all of them as an actor. I get to, you know, and when I'm choosing jobs, I'm very lucky. I'm at a point in my career where I do get to kind of pick and choose a little bit. And when I'm choosing jobs, I almost always am drawn to the jobs that I haven't done yet. You know, it's like, oh, I haven't done that thing. I just got cast in The Hive with Sean Alexander
Uh-huh.
Thompson. It's his movie, and it's a detective. Always wanted to play a detective role, and I technically have, but I've never played that sort of detective role that deeply for the camera and all of that. So it's just still a new experience. It's like, oh, I haven't really worked East Coast a lot, so that'll be nice to go there. You know, like I like to just do new things, something that's new and interesting.
How did you get started performing on the stage?
On the
But
stage,
before you answer that,
oh,
what's the name of that dog behind you?
I'm like, should I bring up this menace that's just like this black bear this is Mochi.
Mochi. Okay.
Say hi. That's
Cute.
Mochi. He's like 100 pounds. He's a big boy. He's Chow Chow. And I just did a DNA test on him because
Yeah.
I thought he was Chow Chow Malamute because the owners
Yeah.
that I got him from a long time ago said that their dog was a Malamute and there was a Chow Chow in the neighborhood, you know. And
Hmm.
he has signs of Chow Chow. He has like a blue spotted tongue
Okay. I
and
was going to
whatever.
ask about a blue tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I did a DNA test on him. He's not even a Malamute at all. He's a Chow Chow. He's
Yeah.
Australian Shepherd, and Akita. It's
Hmm.
like no Malamute at all. So I don't know. He loves the snow.
Yeah.
He is giant. I don't know where he gets any of that from. So, uh,
Okay.
oh well.
Now you can answer the question. Sorry about
No,
that.
I love talking about my dog. He's
Yeah.
amazing. He is like my best friend. So, and
Okay.
seriously, this is a very lonely career as an actor. You have to
Yeah.
travel. You have to go a
Yeah.
lot of places. I get really lonely, and this guy never complains. He just hangs
Do you
out.
take him
It makes me
everywhere?
feel less lonely and never complains.
Do you take him everywhere with you too?
Not everywhere, but a lot of places, yeah.
All right. So how did you get started performing on stage? Sorry,
Okay.
sorry for the digression.
Um, I got started like performing on stage in general. I first got started in elementary school. We had like little variety shows and stuff, and I always wanted to be a part of those. And thinking back, I feel a little bit bad. I think I probably took more than my fair share of the spotlight, and there's probably other kids that were really, really could have utilized that, and I just kind of took over. But that is how I got started. And then in high school, I didn't. It wasn't even my idea to do like high school theater. I my friends. My two best friends, Sierra and Amanda, at the time, they're like, "Oh, we should all go do this together. It'll be like a fun way to, spend time after school. We can do this show together." I was like, "Sure." And it was musical. It's musical theater. It was Footloose, and we all auditioned together. And then they didn't get in, and I did. And I was like, oh God. And I remember talking to my parents. It's like, well, I don't really want to do this without them. Like the point was that we would all hang out together. And then they were like, well, you don't have to, but once you decide, you should commit, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, well, I did say I'd do this, so I'll commit, I guess. And then it turned out to be like the best thing in the world. And they did get in the next year, so we all got to do it together eventually. It was okay. Um, and yeah, musical theater was my first love. That was when grade 11 actually. We
Mhm.
did Wedding Singer and I played the main character in that. Well,
Okay.
I didn't play Adam Sandler. I didn't play the main character.
No,
I,
you
I
played
played
the
the
Drew
character. I
Barrymore
played,
character. Played
Julia.
Julia
So,
Gulia.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know it
I
well.
know it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was when I like dropped in and was like, "Oh, this is like my thing. I need to keep doing this." So
Yeah.
it's pretty late on in life, but that's when I decided. I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that." And so when my drama teacher at the high school, he advised me to go to a couple universities for this. I was
Mhm.
thinking, I don't know how feasible that actually is as a career, but I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do at all. And often in Canada, the first year of university is just kind of basic run-of-the-mill courses anyway. So I thought I'll just apply to like a couple different things that I'm semi interested in, and it won't really make a difference until I get through that first year. And then I ended up getting into the theater arts program at Grant MacEwan University, which is a very highly sought after, very up, very up there
Yeah.
program, and that just changed my life. That kind of secured everything for me, and I made the move to Edmonton.
Is that the point? Is that the moment that you realized that this is something that you could do to make a living?
I don't think I have even now realized that.
Look
I don't.
at all those
I'm
posters behind you.
Yeah, well, the posters, that's the thing is people go, "Oh, you're so successful." And I get that all the time, especially now, and it feels really good
Yeah.
for people to recognize how much I've put into this. And I do take myself very seriously. Like I'm not messing around here. This is my life. Um, but at the same time, I just don't know if people really realize the hardships that are behind it. Like I didn't come from money. My family didn't come from money. We've all had to work really hard for everything that we've gotten in life, and I work really really hard. And yeah, I'm having a bazillion successes all the time, and it really is nice.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's just suddenly easy. It's not like I've like, oh, now I've made it and I can coast for the rest of my life. No, that's never gonna happen. This is always going to be a hard career for anybody who is in a situation like me that, kind of has come from the bottom up and built it all themselves. And I don't say themselves isn't just me. I've had a wonderful support system that makes this even remotely possible because without them, I would not be able to do what I'm doing.
Mhm.
But I just mean like, nothing was ever handed to me. I needed to figure it out, and it's really scary all the time, and I still need to figure it out all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing.
Oh.
I'll tell you one thing, and Brandon and I both talked about this when we did his interview a couple of weeks ago, is that you are destined for big things.
Aw, thank you.
We hope, we know that you're going to get there.
I
And we are,
appreciate that.
yeah. I mean, I feel fortunate that I discovered your stuff when I did, when you were still working in these smaller indie things, because you're going
Mm.
to do great things.
I
Yeah.
hope so. I mean, to be honest, I am quite happy. That's the thing is people are always kind of like, "Oh, you're gonna get your big break really soon and things are looking up for you." Like they'll say that and I'm like, "I'm already kind of
Yeah.
having a
You
good
already got
time." Like
it.
yeah, obviously, I get some phenomenal, I don't know, like top-notch movie or recurring role or something. Yeah, that would be amazing. But at the same time, if that never happens, I'm not going to feel unfulfilled. Like
Right.
I'm already living a really crazy cool life. I got to do so much stuff. I'm so lucky. People treat me like a celebrity. They treat me extremely well with like great respect.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy and extremely lucky
Yeah.
just where I am right now.
When I talk about indie horror to people who are kind of outside of the realm, I talk about how the different groups seem to have their different guys that they work with.
Yep.
Like Brandon's got his guys, and Mark
Yep.
Polonia's got his guys. Joe Sherlock's got his people, and all of these guys, all of these people, these different groups all work together all the time. And then there's the people that transcend the groups and can go between the groups. And you're one of those people now. Like you're in Sean C. Phillips movies. You're in that movie where you got the sword now, and you're in the oh shit, the Jahal brothers, Mahal
Mahal
brothers,
Brothers, yeah,
Mahal brothers.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunately their last movie, but it looks really cool. But
yeah.
if you can transcend the group thing and go between the groups and get work everywhere, that's when you're making it in indie horror, I think.
Yeah, that's really hard to do. I'm not gonna lie. I've not had a lot of people observe that
Yeah.
because that's really real. I got a job once, and I'm not going to tell you what the project is and who it
Okay.
was who said that because it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I got a project once where the producers came to me and they said that they were so glad that they hired me. Everybody told them not to because I was Brandon's, because I was Brandon Rhinus's. I was a higher universe person, and
Yeah.
that they decided to hire me anyway because my audition was really good or whatever. They thought whatever the reasons were for hiring me, they decided those were a bigger thing, and they told me they were so glad they didn't listen to these other people. And he never told me who these other people were, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was like, I. I didn't even, like you don't know sometimes why you don't get a part or why you do
Yeah.
get a part. And it's just like, man, if they had just not cast me, if they just decided, no, that's a higher universe person and that's not a part of our group, I would have never known that that was the reason. I would have never absorbed that into my
Yeah.
head, right? Um, so it is a really difficult balance. There have been a lot of productions, artists are just emotional.
Yeah.
Artists are emotional and we're all like working so hard. It's like 12-hour days at minimum all the time. People are away from home. They're a lot of sleep from traveling and they're hungry and they're trying to fit this in between like a day job or whatever.
Mhm.
And everybody's stressed and they all care about the project that we're doing so much and everybody fights. It's just I have never worked in another industry ever that has had as many interpersonal fights as the film industry and that is why is because of all of those things. Anyway, so the point of what I'm saying is that it's really hard to be like if you're a lead character in that or if you're a key player of some sort to absolutely stay out of the drama because it's so not necessary.
Yeah.
I'm like film is so it's so temporary. Like when you're on a film set for a feature film, it can be as little as 2 weeks sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like really, can we not just get along for 2 weeks and then just go back to our daily lives? Like, why do we have to, why does everything have to be perfect, So, if you want to work for a lot of companies, that's like the number one
Yeah.
thing I recommend is stay out of conflict. It's just so not necessary. If you're being disrespected or treated inhumanely or something like that, yeah, sure, maybe you have your limits of when you want to escalate something. But otherwise, I just kind of go, it's 2 weeks, things aren't going to necessarily be perfect every film set ever. Um, just try to make friends and make like kind of consider, hey, we're all not in an office, like we're all doing the art thing that we want to do and we're all, going in the same direction because we all want to make this thing. Let's be happy about it. I feel like it's a choice to do that, and
Mhm.
that's what gets hired. That's what gets you hired on other projects.
Yeah.
Somebody else who's working on that kind of goes, oh, all this crazy stuff that's going on. This person has been really solid. I know they're going to be super solid on my set too. And then they go and do their own project, and then they come and ask you to work on their project. That's what I
Yeah.
would say about that anyway. Yeah.
I'll tell you, when I saw you appear on the screen in Desert Fiends, the Chauncey Phillips movie, I
Yeah.
did the Leonardo DiCaprio meme thing where you points at the screen. Yes, that's
Nice.
Mildred.
That's Mildred Moyer in disguise. Yep, that was me. Yeah, that was my first ever American film that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually the timing of that and Alien Storm, which is up there,
Mhm.
kind of it's the first one that I actually like got released and happened and stuff like that. But Alien Storm was also up there as well as one of my first. So depending on what interview it is, I'll say one or the other is my
All
first because
right.
it was really
Either
the
one.
same time. I got hired simultaneously. And it's crazy, like, in order to, because I knew that I wanted to work in the States and try to, expand my horizons a
Mhm.
little bit. And basically, I just messaged, like, me and my manager, my dad manager, me and him, we messaged just like 70, or I don't know, it was so many
Yeah.
production companies that we thought were probably on the border of maybe being at a level that I could get hired. We weren't 100% sure. Message all these people, and those are the two that bit was Sean C. Phillips and the Mahal brothers. They
Mhm.
both kind of went, ooh, like
Yeah.
she has potential here. Sure, we'll give her a chance. And without them, now every other project I've worked on in America has come out of those
Oh,
two
wow.
opportunities.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
excellent.
I just owe everything to them. That it was just amazing that they gave me a chance, picked it up because
Yeah.
they really didn't have to. They don't have to at all. And that's a thing is you don't want to just stop at the first no. If we stopped at the first 68 no's, we never would have got to those two.
Yeah, for
So
sure. Yeah. I read that you're proficient in various forms of combat, including archery. How did you get involved in all of that?
if I told you, I'd have to kill you. So,
I don't want
yep.
to get killed, so.
Um, I think I feel like a lot of this is like me being educational. I'm not trying to speak down to anybody and be like,
Oh
hey,
no, go
but
for it.
in my experience,
Mhm.
um, I think it's a really good idea for an actor to be a little bit proficient in kind of everything. Anytime I can pick up a new skill, I do. Like,
Yeah.
and it just whatever it is. And I'm not good at everything. Like, I'm not really good at hand-eye coordinating, like balancy thing. Like I can't juggle. I can't ride a unicycle. Like I'm just not good at those kinds of things.
Mhm.
But the things that I could be good at, I really try to I really try to pick it up and learn. And then that way, if somebody goes, "Oh, we're doing this film, but the it's about a canoeing team," it's like, "Oh, well, I have canoed before because I did that. Like
Mhm.
I know that I can do that." Or, "Oh, the lead role in this needs to be able to ride horseback." It's like, "Yeah, well, I can ride horses. Lead actor needs to be able to do this or this or this or this." And it's like, "Yeah, I've done that before." You don't necessarily have to be an expert in everything. You just need to be able to know that you can learn it if you need to.
Yeah.
Like if somebody comes to me and goes, well, I shouldn't say that because I'd still try. If somebody goes to me like the lead actor in this is a unicycler, like that's the only way you're gonna get the role. I probably would still.
You'd give it a shot, right?
Yeah, actors are so desperate for roles sometimes. If it was the right situation, I'd still go, yeah, I could do that. But but it has to be something that I still feel like I can master. So it has to be something I have at least a basis of knowledge of, and stuff like combat. So
Mhm.
like martial arts, anything to do with that, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, whatever. Just basic kind of stuff. Like you don't need to go all the way into like black belt karate
Yeah.
or taekwondo or whatever. But like just some basic. I know how to use my body in this space and look not bad
Mhm.
is always a really good idea. For me, as a 6 foot tall woman,
Yep.
I'm a woman now. Um, I've been typecast as kind of a badass in a lot of things, which I'm not mad about. There are way worse things to be
Oh
typecast
yeah.
as. Like that's pretty cool. Like if I went back to my 12-year-old self and said like you're gonna be typecast as a badass chick in like 90% of the movies you're in when you're older, I would be totally kosher with that. That's fine.
Mhm.
Anyway, so badass chick can't look like it's her first time holding a firearm. Like she can't look like it's her first time doing X, Y, or Z. So you need to be able to pull that out at any moment. And again, you have a little bit of time to train, but not as much as you would like ever. There's not
Yeah.
ever as much time as you would like.
You're going to be playing a sword fighter in an upcoming movie.
Yep.
Are you allowed to talk about that or not yet?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it now or do you want to talk about it after when you're telling me all about all of your upcoming projects?
Wh- I'm easy, whatever.
Okay. Do you want to
That
talk
one's
about it now?
good. Are you talking
Yeah.
about Home Gang?
I'm not exactly sure what it's called. It's one that I saw you in pictures on Facebook where you're
I'm
swinging
like
a sword
wearing like
around.
leather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. So that's a short film that's Dustin Funk
Yeah.
wrote and like comprised that in his head. I don't know. That's something that I'll never understand. I've never been a writer. I have tried. I have racked my brain for like story ideas. I'm really good at if somebody else has a couple of ideas, I'm really good at brainstorming and coming up with something together. I'm good at writing music. I'm good at writing emotions, but like a story, like just
Yeah.
coming up with a story, I don't know. And I used to when I was a kid. I used to just like all day I'd write stories. But anyway, going back to Dustin Funk,
Yeah.
he had this story in his mind for a while, and we had been planning to do this for 2 years, maybe even longer. I don't know. It's been a while. And I was a little bit like a lot has happened in the last year for me too. So like we have come, both of us have come a long way from when we first talked about wanting to do this. And I'm really glad we still did it because both of us are nerds at heart. Like I played so many video games growing up. I
Oh
watched
boy.
nerdy. Yeah, oh boy.
No, no, that's good because I have a question about video games at the end in the lightning round. And so far, Brandon doesn't play video games.
Well, Brandon needs to catch up. Brandon needs to
Yeah.
expand his horizons then.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, anytime.
Yeah.
I just yap because that's what the point of an interview featuring
Oh, yeah,
Elizabeth Chamberlain
absolutely.
is. But
Yeah.
anytime you want to cut in, please do because I can ramble on forever.
You were worried about being too educational in your responses. You don't have to worry about that. In my reviews, sometimes I give science and history lessons. So
Oh, see, that's what I like that. I
yeah.
don't know. I have well, not recently, in the last 6 years, started teaching drama and acting,
Okay.
and music theater and
Mhm.
all the stuff to do with that, and I've quite enjoyed it. But it's changed my whole personality. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm a teacher now. Like whatever. Uh, so
Working actors and actresses are the best drama teachers, honestly.
yes,
Mine was in high school. He got us jobs as extras on movie sets.
yep.
I met Kim Coates through him. He grew up with Kim Coates. He was awesome. And if you are a working performer on screen and you're teaching high school kids or kids in general, they're going to be so much better for it.
I agree. And also they think I'm really cool. Like that's
Yeah,
kind of
no
nice,
kidding.
when they're like, "Oh, she's going to Hollywood to make a
Yeah,
film." And I
yeah,
don't have to explain all of the unfun parts about that. Objectively, that's cool. Like that's a
yeah.
cool thing.
Super
So
cool.
it's never hard to get my students ever if they're young, like it's never hard to get them to listen to me. They just like
They're
look at me with starry eyes, doe eyes, like,
probably
"Well,
looking forward to it all week going to your class.
yeah, yep."
Hmm.
And then of course there's the teenagers that still think they're
Oh,
that are just like, yeah,
I'm too cool
whatever.
for you.
But that that's
Yeah.
that's anywhere you go. So
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 you're,
yeah, I
yeah.
really like that. The downside is that I mean, most of my students can't watch most of my films.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
They're like,
yeah. There
"Oh,
is
when can
that.
we watch this or when can we watch that?" I'm like, "When you're 19." When you're 25.
So you're also quite an accomplished musician. You are a fantastic vocalist, but you're also proficient in several different musical instruments. Can you tell us about your musical journey?
Um, well, I could play you a song about
Oh
my
boy. All
I'm kidding.
right. Yeah, go
I'm
for it.
kidding. I'm
You
not
can do
gonna
whatever
play
you want. This is your interview.
um, my musical journey. Well, I mean, it started off as me as a kid, just singing around the house, little ditties and stuff. And like I said before, I wrote songs for my friends and I in elementary, and then did the variety shows and the music competitions and stuff growing up. Although I was honestly I never did well in any of those, so I don't know why I kept going, but well, whatever. And church and school was a lot of that, lot of that. And then high school, got into music theater. That changed everything for me. That was the stuff. That was the stuff I should be doing. And then went into university for musical theater. And then while I was in school for musical theater, we had to take just like basic proficiency piano and voice
Okay.
classes. Like it wasn't centered around music theater. It was just like you need to be able to play the keyboard, that kind of thing. And I never could. I had piano lessons as a kid. I had guitar lessons as a kid, but I never liked sheet music.
Hmm.
And so I wish that I could go back to the small child and be like, you really need this. Because even now, I'm just not proficient at sheet music. And people go, oh, like you can play piano because they see me play my own stuff that I wrote. I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, but that's just because that's in here and in my finger memory. Like that's not, I can read sheet music. I'm just not great at it. I'm not
Yeah.
as good at it as I should be. Um, so anyway, so that's a downside for sure. But yeah, then when I was taking those piano courses in university, I started to write my own music seriously and actually took it quite seriously because I was learning things. I really should have been paying attention, but I was like, wow, music is cool. I forgot about how cool like the theory side, the actual
Mhm.
structuring of the music. That's super cool. So then I would, plug my headphones in class and not pay attention, and write music all class, and then that's kind of how I got into that. So I don't know if that's like, yeah, you maybe failed the class, but you got bonus marks for something. I'm kidding. I never failed. I still got really good grades,
Yeah.
but yeah. So then after university, I unfortunately started to slow down a little bit in the music scene. I think that music comes out of me when I'm really stressed and overwhelmed, as a person is in university.
Mhm.
And then when I was free and more comfortable and not stressed, I just found the need to express myself less. So I was still writing, I just didn't really like fully compose stuff. And also this is still the case for me.
Mhm.
My like where the bar is on what I have expectations for myself
Yeah.
is higher now. So I'm like writing a song and I'm like, no, this isn't good. This isn't good. Whereas when I was first writing a song, everything was open, right? Because I was like,
Mhm.
anything is better than not having ever written a song. So I took every idea and I just put everything out there. And now it's just like it's harder to do that. Anyway, then
Yeah.
I got in touch with this guy named Spencer Richard slash Servant. This is a poster for his movie up there that has not been released.
Okay.
Um, and he and I really collaborated well together because again, I'm not really the ideas person. I'm kind of the
Mhm.
idea bouncer person, and he's very much the ideas person. He's like, I have 86,000 lyrics that I have written, and I just need somebody to like sit there with me so I can get these lyrics, out to somebody else, kind of thing. And I'm like, I could be that somebody else. So that's what we did. So we wrote a lot of songs together. I mean, he wrote them, and I gave him the thumbs up. I don't know. I was some sort of initiative for him. That's all. I was motivation. I was a motivational observer. Anyway, and then we recorded them together, and we have a whole album
Okay.
out. Well, it's not out. We have a whole album that has been, created by us that we are still working on and waiting to release. And honestly, it's the best. It's magic. I have always wanted to have a musical creative partner like that. Like
Mhm.
we just we just light up that music studio when we're in there together. It's really amazing. And he's a rap artist. I've always had a
Yeah.
huge, place in my heart for rap, especially like musical theater rap, like
Mhm.
Hamilton or Six or whatever. Like all like I just it's just I love words. I love rhythm. I love that kind of thing. And so he taught me how to rap and how to write a little bit of rap and stuff too while we were doing that. So that really reignited that music
So
stuff.
I'm going to throw a link to his YouTube in the
Yes.
description of this video so that the viewers can go and see your collaborative music there too.
Thank you. Yes,
Of
please
course.
do. His stuff
Yeah.
is really good too. Like, I think him and I only have 3 songs released right now. I think we
Mhm.
have Guilty Conscience, we have Beast Mode, and then just yesterday we released Please Stay. I think that's it. It's hard to remember what's just in my head because we have a lot of other songs, they just haven't been
Hmm.
posted. So I think we just have the three, but he has like I don't know, like 20, 25 other, like he has like
Oh
so many
wow.
other songs out there
Yeah.
that are really, really good that people should also listen to. When he first reached out to me and asked me to collaborate, like I went and I was like, what's this guy up to? You know, like, and I went and listened to his stuff, and I was like, oh, yeah, I want to be involved.
He's not a weirdo.
I would love to collaborate. So yeah, I'm glad I did. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's really scary as a solo person, just me, and I'm a girl too, and especially back when I was starting out, I was younger. It's scary. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah.
everybody doesn't know the thing that they don't know until they go and do the thing, right? So everything's scary. And I'm glad that I have said yes to the things that I have said yes to that have worked out. Like that. Like I
Hmm.
don't regret a day of time with Servant to the studio.
Excellent. What genre of music is your favorite to listen to, other than musical theater rap?
Yeah, Hamilton. That's the genre. Um, I don't know. That's a really good question. I kind of said this earlier in the interview where it's like it's always
Yeah.
hard for me to pin down a favorite anything.
Okay.
Right now I have a couple favorite like musical artists, but I genuinely don't know what genre they would be. Like maybe like indie rock pop. I
Okay. Maroon
don't
5.
know.
We'll just say Maroon 5.
Yeah, Maroon 5. No, I do love Maroon 5, but I don't really listen to them anymore, to be honest. My favorite bands now, I really love, my favorite of all time right now is Saint Motel. They're, oh, they just light me up. I love their stuff. I have always been, like, after Maroon 5, before Me Now, Panic
Mhm.
at the Disco was my shit. Like, I
Okay.
love Panic at the Disco. Unfortunately for us, fortunately for Brendan Urie,
Mhm.
he's starting a family, and that's really awesome. And so he ended up taking a couple steps back from the music scene. I hope not permanently. Like I hope
Yeah.
once he's got the family thing under his belt and whatever, maybe he'll get back into it. But I'm still a huge, huge, huge fan of them. Love, love, love Panic at the Disco. So that would be up there too. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of different stuff. I love Arctic Monkeys. I'm a huge fan of them too.
Yeah.
I really like 21 Pilots. I mean, that's kind of getting back into the rap scheme. I
Mhm.
really like their stuff. I think they're cool and edgy. I think sometimes they get a little too far because they're like, we're trying to be cool and edgy, and then that's all you hear in the music, and it's like, yeah, but you
Mhm.
gotta go too far sometimes to know, what works for you. So I don't fault them at all. I can't do half the stuff they can do, so I can't say anything. They're amazing. Um, what else? Yeah, those are probably
Okay.
my favorite artists. So I don't know what kind of genre that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Pop, I guess. Pop rock? I don't know.
But yeah,
But when you say like 21 Pilots and that sort of thing, I know what kind of genre you're talking about. Like Imagine
yeah, it's
Dragons and
like
all that business. It's that kind of popish, rockish stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and then there's like a little bit of like a flavor of like grunge and like attitude. I
Yeah.
don't think that's a theme but or a genre, but yep.
Attitude is a genre, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, all those 70s
Spicy.
punk bands that I love, that was all they had was attitude, right? They didn't have the
Yep.
musical talent, they just had the attitude. There you
Yep.
go. Hmm.
Honestly, that's half of it.
Yeah. So we've established that you're incredibly talented across many different artistic disciplines.
Okay, great. I'm glad.
What? What's your favorite medium to work in? Music, theater, film, dance, or is it something else?
You know, it's interesting that you say favorite, like my favorite
Yeah, I
medium to
keep
work
saying
in, because
favorite, and favorite is something that you don't like.
no, it's
Okay.
fine. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like that the phrasing of that is important because
Mhm.
saying like, oh, this is my favorite medium to work in versus this is what I work in the most or this is what I'm most proficient at are two different things, right? Um, Film is definitely what I'm the best at. Like, and I'm not trying to, I'm not just trying to like
Mhm.
sound egotistical, but like I have tried it all at this point. I have
Yeah.
done theater, I've done musical theater, I've done film, I've done music, I've done music videos, I've done modeling, I've done everything. And for me and my life and my body and my whoever heck I am, film works the best for me. The lifestyle of film, it just like as soon as I got into film, I was like, oh, like everything's not easy. Like it's still a lot of work, but it just like everything kind of felt like home. I really love theater, and people often ask me, they went, "Oh, like, what do you want to do, film or theater?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have to just do one."
Yeah,
Like, I don't know why people think that. I think it's a very archaic belief. It's like you can only do film or theater. You can't do both. Like they feed each other. Why
yeah,
would you only choose one? Um, People often think about that in film and television. You either are a TV star or you're a film star. You can't be both. And I'm like, it's
right.
2025. Nobody cares about that anymore, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah,
There,
so
there are
sorry.
fantastic film actors that do theater all the time. Like Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves are doing Waiting for Godot right now.
Yep.
Hmm.
I think Hugh Jackman is one of
Yeah.
like my top favorite
Yeah.
actor kind of like he's like my role model. Like if I could be anybody, I would be Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Or Meryl Streep. Anyway, Hugh Jackman, if you think about him, like he's flip-flopped back and forth between theater
Yeah.
and film for his whole life and the reason one of the biggest reasons in my opinion is that he's such a proficient actor is because of that because he never went, "Oh, I'm just gonna fall into what worked." Like, no, he was just like, this is what is fueling me and this is what I'm good at and this is what I want to keep doing. And he did that. And I think as an artist, we need to do that. We need to trust our artistic and creative instincts. Because if we just look at the business side of things, we'll lose why we got into it in the first place. And we lose a huge part of what's going to make us interesting to
Hmm.
watch. So, so, um, yeah, so film, that's why film is really my main career is because it is just the thing that works the best for me, for
Yeah.
my lifestyle for sure. However, I could not at all live the rest of my life not doing theater, not doing music, not doing musical theater. Musical theater is my favorite. Like if you want to say what
Yeah.
I'm most proficient at versus what my actual favorite is, music theater all the way. Musical theater is why I got into this business. Musical theater is really hard on the body. If you want to do it at a professional level, it's really hard on the body. And that for anybody, regardless of your physical state. Often you train your whole life to become, a Broadway star or whatever, and then once you get that breakthrough role, the rest of your career is just trying to maintain, trying to maintain your health. Like once you get that talent, you just try to maintain your health. And with film, it's just so different. In theater and in musical theater especially, like you're doing your own hair, you're doing your own makeup unless there's some sort of prosthetic or wig or something.
Hmm.
You're doing your own makeup, you're taking care of your own warm up, you're getting yourself to and from everything. You're housing yourself, you're making sure all of this whatever works out, and then you're doing months and months and months and months of rehearsal, multiple times a week, full days for months and months and months where you're singing or shouting or screaming over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And then you get to do the show, and often it's like, and you get four performances, or what I'm exaggerating, but
Yeah.
not really. Like sometimes it is that way. Or you get a month of performances, or whatever. And in film, you get picked up at the airport.
Yeah.
Somebody else takes you to set. Somebody gets you food and water. Somebody does your makeup for you. If you need anything on set, if you need anything on set, you
Hmm.
ask for it and it will be given to you within reason.
Yeah.
Um, and you just have to take care of the acting side of things. And most of the time, like in a lot of roles, if you're doing like a reoccurring TV series or something like that, there's often not rehearsals at all. Like you just show up, they give you your sides, and you learn it in 30 seconds, and then you go do the scene, and you never have to do the scene again. It's not all the time. Like most of the
Yeah.
stuff I do, it's a decent amount of practice and stuff beforehand. But that's the far end of that. So a lot of the human stuff, of the taking care of yourself stuff, is taken care of by other people on a film set. So you just have to worry about just your little acting business. Um, I think that there is a stereotype that, like celebrities have everything handed to them and they're all, they're mean about it and stuff. But the
Hmm.
thing is being an actor is extremely physically demanding of any sort. If you're a theater actor, film
Yeah.
actor, music videos, model, whatever, it's extremely physically demanding because your body is the actual instrument. You're not on a computer. You're not using a notebook. You're not using a pencil. You're using
Hmm.
yourself. That's your instrument. And if you have a sick day, nothing can go on.
Yeah.
If your grip or gaffer has a sick day, they're not any less important
Yeah.
at all than you are. In a lot of ways, they're more important because you're not going to be seen if the world around you isn't set up by anyone. But if you have a gaffer that's sick, or maybe a grip that's sick or whatever, you can get a replacement in for a day or two until that person feels better,
Yeah.
and then you can keep going. If you're sick, everybody has to stop.
Yeah. There's
Everybody
no
else has a
understudy.
sick day.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's no understudies in film at all. And in theater, there often isn't the budget for understudies too.
Hmm.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
you have a sick day, that can often cost a production astronomically to the point where an entire company can go under, and
Mhm.
that's a lot of stress too, which is
Yeah.
good.
No
Oh, there's
kidding.
a little one. There's the fox, little guy. Um,
See that guy. Okay.
so it's really important that you stay healthy. So the reason that everybody's waiting on you hand and foot is because they understand that they're like, we like this girl, we can't get her sick, she can't be tired, she can't be anything. And then you want to look your best too. Like everybody has those days where they wake up and they kind of go, "Oh, I feel like dirt today, but I
Yeah.
still have to go into work because it's my job kind of thing." And you look like hell and your hair's disheveled and whatever, and you kind of roll and you just get through your workday. That's,
Yeah.
everybody has those days. In acting, you don't want to ever have those days because that's on film forever.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of those where I'm super sick because you're traveling, you're low on sleep, you don't have your like home comforts or whatever. It's
Hmm.
easy to get sick. Like airports are germy as heck. And then, you get sick and you arrive on set and like I will be on my deathbed and I'm still going to set because there's so many people depending on you.
Yeah.
Sometimes these big sets have like 20 to 80 people on set all waiting on you. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to just be like,
I'm
I
not
feel
feeling
low
it
under the
today.
weather today. Like, no, I am going in there even if I'm dying.
Yeah.
And I have. And then I watch those films back and I go, oh God, I look like death.
Well, you're probably the only one that realizes it, so that's good.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So this conversation is a perfect segue into the next question, and it's how did you get your start as a professional film actress?
Well, that would be Brandon. That would be Brandon who headed the Grotesque series. Yes, back in university. I think it was Facebook. Like my memories are slipping me now. It's been a while. I've been doing this for a while now.
Mhm.
So back in university, back when I was going to Grant McEwen, I saw an advertisement for a casting call on Facebook, and it was for a film. It was called Hot Box.
Yeah.
No, sorry, no. The first film I did with Brandon was called Cold Comfort is what it was called. It was later renamed to The Project, and
Yeah.
actually, yeah, the poster for
Against
that
his
one is up
wishes.
there.
Yeah.
That's the original poster before it was renamed.
Okay.
So Brandon Reines gave me my start, and I was in university. I was in Grant McEwen at the time, and I saw this advertisement for a casting call on Facebook for Cold Comfort, which was later renamed The Project, and I thought it sounded really sketchy to be honest. It was like I say this to Brandon and he always gets mad at me. He's like, that's not how it was. But from my perspective, this genuinely was. Like, I saw this casting call and it said, like, it was at a hotel room kind of thing. And I was like,
Uh-oh.
okay, so am I gonna meet these strangers in a hotel room? It was like the boardroom of the hotel. Like, it wasn't like a hotel
Oh,
room.
okay.
I didn't know that because I didn't know how these things work. So back then I was like, am I gonna get stolen? Like, like, oh my God. And that's real. Like that happens
Yeah.
all the
People
time.
get trafficked. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was alone at that time, I was just me in the big city, and so I just like, I text my parents like, if I don't text you back in 1 hour, I've been kidnapped, and here's the address I'm going to, and whatever, which I always do if I'm doing something sketchy, just,
Okay.
but anyway, so I show up at this hotel, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm in the right place, or if this is real or not. And then I saw like a lineup of other people also going into the audition. And I was like, okay, okay, well,
Okay.
at least if I'm dying, we're all dying together, so it's
Yeah.
okay. So I like sat there and I was like, okay. And then I went in the room and they had, yeah, it was a boardroom. It wasn't like it wasn't like a sketchy hotel room with like a single bed. I'd cry. Yeah. And there was Brandon Reines and Katie Gobert, behind the table as well. And there was a camera. There was a video camera in the room. And they were both like, okay, like let's do this thing kind of thing. And then Katie gave me some direction. She's like, okay, can you try it again, but like nasally, or try it again, but do it like really she said bitchy, like really like,
Okay.
sassy, whatever, like those kinds of things. And I did it a bunch of different ways, and then I left. That's the thing about auditions is they're usually really short, so it's probably
Hmm.
15, 20 minutes at max. They asked me a little bit about myself. That was it. Um, anyway, and then I left, and I was thinking, I didn't die. That's a pretty good day. And then that changed everything. So I ended up getting the role that I auditioned for, and I don't know if this is true, but later on, Brandon's just like, oh, I was clear as soon as you walked in the room and started acting. Like, there was no question about it. You were a cut above everyone else. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that,
Well,
but
that's what he said in the interview with me too. So.
yeah, he says that we like to build each other up, and I
Mhm.
think that's why we worked together so long. I genuinely do believe that Brandon is like I would worship him. He just posted the other day of a photo of me and Hotbox like worshiping him. I don't remember
Yeah.
doing that, but I obviously did, and I don't doubt that I did. Worshiping him and Julie like on the ground for some reason. But seriously, like he gave me everything. If I didn't have that break with Brandon, I don't know if I ever would have had a successful career in film. Maybe next week I would have auditioned for something else that would have got me
Yeah.
somewhere, but doubtful. If you look at my IMDb credits, I have, I don't know, 40 credits or something like that at this point.
Yeah.
Like half of them are from Brandon,
Yeah.
and arguably 100% of them are from Brandon because maybe nothing else would have stemmed off
Hmm.
if I hadn't first worked with him. And even now, even when I go to the States and I work on like bigger projects down there, everybody's like, "Oh, she's the lead actress in Grotesque." It's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't know why that's the thing that everybody's like, "Ooh," but I'll take it. And that was one of the first things that Brandon and I really did.
Hmm.
So, um so yeah, everything comes back to him. So he is the one who gave me my start out there for sure.
Yeah. I first saw you in the Azera and Gorko anthology of horror shorts. You were the Gretch. I really liked that story, and it just so happens to be the first time that I ever saw you and that crew work together. And then when Grotesque came up in my feed later, I was like, "Oh shit, I recognize all of these guys from that other anthology," and it was so good. And that's what really got me onto to Brandon's work and to your work in particular. Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You were saying earlier about everybody has their own little crew kind of
yeah,
thing. I feel like Higher Universe is very much like that. And we've over the years have gotten some, not a lot, but some people will say like, "Oh, it's hard to get it's too impossible to get in with them," kind of thing. They always work with the same people. Like kind of talking it
yeah.
down like it's a bad thing. I really don't think it's a bad thing personally. I think it's really smart, and I don't really have a lot of control over that. Like I work with Higher Universe a lot, but it's all Brandon. Like he's the
Hmm.
mastermind behind everything. He makes all the big decisions. I just show up and get all the glory. Like I don't. He's the one working day in and day out on that company.
Yeah.
So anyway, part of what he likes to do is, yeah, he will give somebody a chance on somebody brand new. Somebody says, "Oh, hey, my friend's really into film, really wants to come out and spend a day on set." Brandon's not going to say no. He's
Mhm.
like, "You're welcome on set. Yeah, sure, let's figure it out." And then if he goes, "Oh, like this person has X, Y, or Z that we don't have, like like this is maybe a really good person to have a connection with," or
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I really vibed with that person. I don't know how they fit in the picture yet, but I like having them around."
Yeah.
Whatever the reason is, Brandon will reach out to that person on the next project and say, "We would love to have you back," or "Hey, loved having you in the last project, but can we try you in a different role on this one, and then we'll do this." And then that ends up feeding itself into the future projects. And we've had people over the years, they just decide they don't want to do film anymore and they go and do other things, or they've moved on to bigger and better things and we just can't get a hold of them
Yeah.
anymore, or they start a family and then they don't have enough time for it anymore, or whatever the reason is. We've had so there constantly is like this cycling of people. The people that we started off with, a lot of them are the same, but a lot of them are different. And we're constantly growing a bigger and bigger film community family
I think
thing.
it's
Like
really good. I think it's really good for
it's super
Canada
good.
and it's really good for Edmonton.
It's super good.
Yeah.
Like why would you go out and say, "You know what? All these people that worked their butts off in the last film and we
Hmm.
all had a really good time and we made lifelong friendships. let's not hire any of those people again and just
Yeah,
take a chance on a bunch of people I've never met before and try to do the same thing with them. Like why is that the smart thing to do? No, absolutely not.
yeah,
And honestly, I've never worked for a film company that does that. Film companies always rehire the same
yeah,
people. It's not the exact same every time
yeah.
usually. But yeah, you got like why reinvent the wheel? If something worked, do the thing that worked, you know? Why
Reliability, I think, is a really key factor in that too. When you know people are reliable, you've got to go with reliability rather than take that chance.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a real thing. There's a lot of that, especially when you're first getting started in the industry. A lot of people just don't show up
Yeah.
or whatnot. And like I said earlier, with especially for the actors, if you just don't show up, that could actually put a company under.
Hmm.
People are relying they make their whole budgets based on people showing up. So if people don't show up, everything can be tanked. And there is not a quicker way to not get rehired in the industry than not showing up.
Right.
And I'm really glad that I learned that early on in the career because there are days where you kind of go, oh my God, I feel like heck today. I look like heck today. I can't be Mildred Moyer today. Like I can't go and be sassy and go murder people when I feel like I'm on death's door myself. You know, like I can't go and do that.
Yeah.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta go. You know what? I'm gonna have to find this from the depths of something, and I'm just gonna have to go and do it because everybody's relying on me. Um, and so that's what I do, and you know, that's what I would recommend for
Yeah.
everybody ever, for any career really. Just always give it your best, and the days that you don't feel like showing up the most are the days where it's most important to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are relying on you. I don't know, like I keep going back to that, but it's just like
It's
I
true.
can't
Yeah.
imagine. I can't imagine like letting people down. Oh my God, is this an interview or is this a therapy session? I don't know anymore, Ben.
It
Like
can be
I'm
whatever
serious.
you want it to be. So you've worked predominantly in horror films so far, but you've also got great comedic timing and dramatic chops. So what is your ideal genre to work in?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's so funny. When I read your questions, which
Yeah,
I really appreciate that you sent those to me like ahead of time. That was really nice. And I read that where it was like, you have great comedic timing and
I
chops. I
do. It's
literally laughed
crazy.
out loud. I was like, oh, do I?
You
That
can
was
pick out
in
any little clip from the most that I've got of it, the most that I've got access to right now is Grotesque and
right.
Grotesque 2. But you can pick any little snippet out of there, and the way that you deliver the lines is perfectly comedic timed.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Hmm.
In university, that was the thing I struggled with the most. Give
Hmm.
me a drama, like dramatic class, or a project or anything like that. It's like, oh yeah, I don't want to glaze it over. It's also work. It's also a lot of, it's its own thing, you know. It has a lot, but it's like I can cry on command. I can draw up really dark emotions like really quickly and be completely fine and comfortable in that. And that's always been something that has I've leaned more towards. And then yeah, and then in university we take clown and comedy and whatever, and part like 90% of that is just trusting that you're funny and then going for it. And it's like I've never believed that I was funny, so it was hard for me to get over that kind of hurdle. And so yeah, it is kind of crazy when I book comedic roles, I always have to steel myself a little bit and be like, why? Like out of everybody they could have cast for this, like I'm me? Like, are you sure? Because I'm really not funny. I've always taken myself extremely seriously.
Yeah.
I'm like we were talking about morals earlier. Like I'm just like I'm very black and white, like cut and dry. This is the situation. I've always been like that, very intense. So I think when I'm getting into acting and even just in my life, like
Yeah.
you know I love making people laugh. I would love to be able to do that more. Um, but humor is just not something that comes naturally to me. It's something that I really have to work at. Uh, so I appreciate you saying that I'm proficient in
I'm
it.
having trouble getting past the fact that you have to take clown in university. That
Oh,
seems crazy.
that was the best part of university. That was the best part, and I'm not even joking about that. For me,
Yeah.
clown, even though I don't do clown, like I don't we were taught like pachinko kind of clown, like
Okay.
not like, oh, you go to a birthday party and you honk your nose kind of
Okay.
clown, but like proper theater clown.
Not
And
Juggalo clown either.
sorry, what?
Not Juggalo clown either.
Yeah, nope, none of that. No juggling.
No, no,
Although
no,
one of my
Juggalo.
classmates
Like
did.
insane clown posse clown.
Juggalo clown. No, we didn't do that either.
No, okay. No, I was just joking.
No. Is it a movie? Are you referencing a
No,
movie?
it's the insane clown posse call themselves Juggalos.
I've never heard of this.
Really? Oh
No.
yeah, they have the whole gathering of the Juggalos. That's their big music festival.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
like, this sounds like a cult.
it,
Okay.
it is a cult.
Oh,
It's
it is a cult. Okay,
oh,
good.
oh
It's a
yeah,
cult
they're
and a
a cult
music
for
festival.
sure.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was the best part. Mike Kennard was our teacher, and he's super super famous for the Mump and Smoot clown routine or whatever. Went
Okay.
all across Canada. It was huge. Still is huge. Still, like when they did like a revival show, like people like it was sold out every night. People just went nuts. Like it's so and for me, it was something that I had no idea even existed until I experienced it for the first time. And I went with a friend. I can't even remember who I went with. It was a university friend, and he had to like teach me how to be an audience member at a clown show because it's just different when you're there and you're experiencing it in person. And that's the reason I could never give theater up. Is it's like
Hmm.
it's you can never that feeling of being in the theater with the performers. You can never get that in film.
Yeah,
It's totally different. And as a performer, feeling the audience in the room with you and reacting to them and reacting with them and bouncing off of them and whatever, that's gold. You
yeah.
don't get that in film at all. So anyway, so yes, that was my favorite part about my degree. And honestly, it was probably like if I could only take one thing, or if I could only advise somebody to take one thing, it was single-handedly the most important for me as an actor to take. I don't know if it would be the same for everybody. I think for me it was especially pivotal. Mike was also very much he was very important for me to meet. I just think he was very supportive of me in a way that I had never been supported before.
Hmm.
And like really understood me from day one. I feel like I'm never understood from day one because I'm a little strange. Um, but he like instantly got me, understood me, whatever, and never treated me like I was, a problem or less
Yeah.
than or whatever. And I got extremely good marks in his class, and yeah, it was just amazing. I want to
Well,
go
that's
back.
cool.
If I
Yeah.
could go back and do one part of my degree, it'd be that.
I will never go back to school.
No, yeah, I don't really
Yeah.
want to go back to school.
Yeah.
School was not my kind of thing, but that class specifically was. Yeah.
So, you've worked on a lot of film projects so far, and most of them are Brandon's. What's been the best experience that you've had on set so far? And don't be worried about offending Brandon if it's not one of his.
Huh. That's funny. I'm not usually worried
Okay.
about offending Brandon.
Okay.
Brandon and I, the thing is like, if you think about how long I've been working with Brandon,
Yeah.
how long has it been? Like
2020?
7, 8 years?
Yeah.
2020? Is that what you said? No, I
I
think it
think
was earlier than
2020.
that.
Really?
Yeah, I think the
Okay.
first like grotesque trailer thing that we made, like not the full movie, I think was 2019 was released.
Oh,
So we were working since 2017 or 18. So
yeah.
just about 10 years.
Yeah. I forgot because yeah, he said that it was when he got laid off of his day job is when he started making the movies, and that would have been then. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so something around there, like probably 8 years or something, that we've been working together, and especially for me, not so much for him, but especially for me as a woman. So I'm that would have been right from when I was of age, like turned into an
Yeah.
adult, right through my early 20s is all through all of that. So Brandon has been the same. Brandon's been the same guy for 8 years, but I have not been the same girl. Like that's a lot of growing, that's
Yeah.
a lot of like figuring shit out and whatever. And Brandon has been the one constant in my career in all of that. Um, Out of everything. Like, there's been lots of people that I go back to and I work
Yeah.
with and whatnot, but for him, it's been the longest because he was my very first breakthrough into the film community, and then all the way till now to the
Hmm.
present day, right? We're
Yeah.
still making stuff together. So I'm not afraid of offending Brandon because
Okay.
he's seen my worst days. He's, he has seen my worst days on set. You know what I was saying earlier, where it's like there were days where I woke up and it was hard, like
Yeah.
you're sick or you're not feeling your best or you're tired or whatever the reason is kind of thing. And I still go on to set those days. And Brandon's the one who has to put up with that. So so anyway, so if he wanted to ditch me, he would have by now. um, anyway, uh, what was the actual question?
Yeah, the best film, the best
Oh
experience
yeah,
that you've had on a film set so far. Your favorite movie to work on so far.
best film experience so far.
Yeah.
Well, I've had so many good ones. I don't want to, we're going back to the favorites thing. It's hard.
Okay.
It's hard for me to pick.
Yeah.
Um, I really like, I really liked my time on Alien Horde. Not
Okay.
Alien Storm. That's
Okay.
different.
Different one. All right.
Alien Horde. Is it up there? What?
I haven't seen it wherever it
No,
is.
it's not. Well, I can't say it's my favorite then, can I? I don't know why I don't have it up there. What the heck? Well, anyway,
Yeah.
um, Alien Horde, is probably one of my favorites. Again, because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Uh, we filmed on such cool practical spaceships and locations in the heart of Hollywood. Like,
Oh wow.
sorry, Brandon Rhinus, but what's cooler than that? Like, you
Yeah.
can't really beat that for me. One of the sets we filmed on, they used for the filming of Serenity for like Firefly, and
Wow.
it's like what like
Yeah.
it's so cool. It wasn't the Serenity, it wasn't the ship, but it like
Mhm.
they had used it in the show. It's like, excuse me, like that there's nothing cooler than that, you know. So that was really really cool. Also just the cast was really cool. Like everybody just jived so well together. Anytime you're in Hollywood is really cool. I ended up getting to do a bunch of cool Hollywood things, and one of the film set was literally right on the strip. It's like,
Okay.
oh, like that's just the best. I
Did
don't
you eat
know.
at Pink's Hot Dogs?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
Did I miss out? Did I ruin everything?
I don't know. That's a tourist. That's a tourist hot dog place.
Well, I probably had a hot dog there,
Yeah.
probably, but I don't know if I had that specific one.
Okay.
Sorry.
That was a silly question on my part.
Um, so yeah, that was probably top notch for me. I liked the character. It was all cool. All the people were cool. You know, some of my favorite film making buddies in the world are part of the Mahal team. So
Yeah.
that's really nice to like kind of go back and land with them and, feel at home in that way. Feel at home away from home. I also really liked I do have a poster of this one, the Cursed Waters pirate film.
Yeah.
That was cool. We also filmed that one in Hollywood. And
You had your finger right on it too. There. That's perfect.
boing!
Yeah.
I honed in.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was really cool. Like again, we were in a big building in Radford Studios in Hollywood. So it's like lots of Gilligan's Island was filmed there. Like it
Cool.
was just it's just like I don't remember all the different places that were filmed there, but
Mhm.
I remember being like, "Oh my God, this was filmed here, and this was filmed here, and this was filmed here. That's so cool!" And they had like a big pirate ship that they just like made in this giant, studio warehouse. Like you can't really get more glamorous than that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Um, so all of that was sweet. Um, those were really good experiences. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Grotesque and I'm Haunted.
Yes. Let's.
Okay. So, Grotesque, the Grotesque series are a pair of movies with a third on the way. They focus on the delightfully demented serial killer Mildred Moyer, who is played by you, whose brain was broken after years of mistreatment due to not fitting in with societal beauty standards. I really, really enjoy the two movies, like a lot. Can you give us some background on how you got involved? I think you already have pretty much. You got involved with Brandon.
Well, I can give you a background I
Yeah.
haven't given you yet,
Mhm.
on how we got, like how
Yeah.
the idea of the stories kind of came. So we were actually filming. Oh no.
What?
I'm like, what were we filming? We were filming something else. I want to say it was something that was like a short film. It was maybe part of
Okay.
Horror Weekend. And we were at his old apartment. So maybe it was the Getch because we filmed that in the old apartment. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly, but we were there, and then I was sitting on his bed for a scene. For a scene, I was sitting on his bed. I was sitting on the foot of his bed. I was sitting there, and we were taking photos actually at that time for I'm Haunted. Bling there.
Yeah.
And that was like our next plan was that we were gonna start doing that. So we're taking photos from that, and then Brandon stopped taking photos, and he looked at me and he was like, "What would be like your dream role? Like if you could play anything in the world, what would be your dream role?" And I said, and this is still true, this has not changed really. I said I'd really like to play I would like to be a lead in something that situates around a villain character that people feel bad for, that
Hmm.
people actually they want the villain to succeed.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was thinking one of my favorite roles in the cinematic universe for like that kind of thing is Maleficent in the Maleficent movie.
Hmm. Yeah.
Really like that. Like I just, it's such a uh, classic fairy tale that everybody's always heard from one perspective, and then all of a sudden it just like, holy crap, like this is amazing from the other way. I don't know. Yeah, I've always been obsessed with that. Anyway, so that's what I was thinking in my head when I said that. And then Brandon,
Mhm.
Brandon with his brain was like, okay, sure, I'll go write that for you. And he ended up taking a script that he already had. So Mildred Moyer, the Grotesque script was very different before I got involved, and he kind of rewrote it for me. I'm not sure if it was a finished script or not, but basically it was like supposed to be like kind of an old lady, somebody who's unassuming, an old lady who's sweet, wears a dress, kind of similar to Mildred, that sort of thing. And then she snaps. She's trying to look younger. Plastic surgery
Mhm.
goes wrong. She snaps, and she goes on this murder rampage kind of thing. And then when I had said that, he went, "Oh, I have the script," and he went and rewrote it basically for me. And he's like, "Okay, well, what's a different reason that she could be getting plastic surgery because she's not old?
Yeah.
What about a big ass nose?" Anyway, I don't know. I shouldn't start talking about what Brandon was thinking because I don't know what he thinks. Like 90% of the time, some of this career is so weird, and
Yeah.
if you try to explain it to people, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're insane for doing that. Like that sounds super scary." Well, back when I first started working with Brandon, like I don't know him that well. Now I know him very well.
Yeah.
But back then I don't know him that well, and I'm a young girl and whatever. I'm going over to his apartment because he says I'm going to be in his next film, so I'm like, like
Yeah.
super sketchy. But anyway, I didn't die.
It worked out.
It was actually really good. Brandon's super trustworthy
Yeah.
and love him. Anyway, so I went, sitting in his apartment and reading these scripts about about crazy stuff,
Mhm.
murders and like really gruesome deaths and stuff like that. And I'm just like reading them and I'm like, I'm not in any danger at all. Like, oh God. Like I would never want to have a child that's like me, like, oh my God, what a heart attack. Why am I doing this? But anyway, I didn't die. Brandon turned out to be super cool.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wonder, I'm like, where did these ideas come from, Brandon? Because he's like the nicest guy in the world, and
Yeah.
then I like read the script, and it's like character A brutally murders and assassinates and disembowels, and then whatever character B, and it's like, oh, all right, cool, that came from your head, Brandon, nobody else's, but I still haven't died, so it's good.
Yeah.
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 Did that answer your question? I don't even remember what the question was.
I'm pretty sure it did. Like, yeah, it answered a couple of the questions that I had, so that's
Oh, good,
excellent. What
good.
were the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome when you were getting the movie made?
When we're getting Grotesque made?
Yeah.
Ooh, there were a lot of hurdles. So lots. The answer is lots. There were
I
lots of
think
hurdles.
hurdle number one from Brandon's point of view was COVID. COVID hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
COVID was a huge one. COVID postponed it a lot. And I remember that when we came back from COVID, and it had been a long time since, so like half the movie was filmed before and half the movie was filmed after COVID, which I think people sometimes won't necessarily know when they're
Yeah.
watching the movie. They kind of go, "Oh, this all just goes together," which is I'm glad that it
Yeah.
looks that way because um anyway, yeah. So when we came back from COVID, the first scene that we filmed was the scene where I cut up, I can't remember her character's name, but Danielle Kravenke's face.
Okay.
She's playing the stripper in the strip club,
Yep.
and they're doing the photography kind of thing. And I meet her backstage, and I cut up her face. And I remember we were kind of close up on the prosthetic, and on me holding the knife, and I was so nervous. I was like, doing this, and if you
Yeah.
watch really closely, like I don't want to out myself, but if you watch really closely, you can see my chin a little bit like quiver because I'm
Yeah.
so stressed. It had been months and months, and I'm like, I haven't even been in a room with people in so long.
Yeah.
It had been so long, and I was like, I don't remember how to be Mildred Moyer either. Like it's like I don't remember what the character decisions I made. It's been a hot minute.
Hmm.
This is of course before I like fully embodied her and stuff. Like now I can snap
Yeah.
into her anytime. It's not a big deal.
Well,
But I
she's
was
you
so
now.
nervous. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I remember that. And I remember thinking that back then too. I remember thinking, I'm gonna be able to see myself tremble on camera and I'm never gonna let myself live this down. But what do you do when you're stressed? You're stressed. Sometimes it just kind of happens, right? But did I back down? No, I
No,
followed through and I murdered that girl.
you
Well, she
sure
technically
did.
killed herself, but
And
yeah.
yeah, fantastic movie. It came out. I had no idea that you guys were filming it during COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
that,
during, not during, before and after, but
well,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
crazy.
really we're still kind of during, I think,
Yeah,
but
we did. No, you're right. Actually, we did film the homeless encampment scene. We filmed during COVID because we were outside, so
yeah,
we could be there. But even that, like if you see, we kind of situated like carts between people, and everybody else
yeah,
who wasn't on camera were masked up. Like, it was all yeah, it's just a weird time.
sure was, sure was. Do you have any fun behind the scenes stories of making either of the grotesque movies?
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun behind the scenes.
Yeah,
That's something that Brandon really wants to replicate in Grotesque 3. So in
yeah,
Grotesque 2, we shot a lot of it at this campsite. So we booked like a campsite for like a week basically, and that's where people actually stayed. Like those cabins that we filmed
mm,
in, stuff like that. People actually just stayed there overnight too. Not everybody. Some people drove back and forth from Edmonton, but a lot of people just stayed in the cabins overnight, and me included. And that was like the best. Like when else do you get to do that? When do you
yeah,
just gonna go like me and 40 of my closest friends are just gonna go camping for a week? Like what? Like that is just so not like adult life. You go to summer camp or something when you're a kid. You get to do that all the time. But as an adult, those kinds of opportunities just don't happen all the time. So anyway, so when Brandon was writing Grotesque 3, that was something that he had in mind. He was just
yeah,
like, we'd really like to replicate that. And that's one of Brandon's absolute superpowers is when he writes, he doesn't just write like, oh, this is the story that comes out of my head. He goes, okay, well, this is the kind of emotion that I want to get from the film. This is the kind of like these are the people, the actors we have in mind. So I'm writing characters for real people I
yeah,
already have in mind. Writing it based on a location. He's kind of like, okay, well, we want to do like we want to have this big week long camping retreat with all of our favorite people kind of thing. We need to write the story based on something that works with that. Like he's so cool. He just gets to
yeah.
do that. Like again, I'm like I can't write anything worth crap regardless if I have parameters or not. And he's just like he's next level. He's top level. He can write regardless of what the parameters are. He can make something happen that's brilliant. Um, but anyway, yeah. So that would be the plan again for Grotesque 3. I'm not going to tell you anything about the script, but
He gave us a little hint at
did
the
he?
last
I
one.
should
Yeah, he
really watch
told
his
us.
interviews before I
You
talk because I'm like, we got
should.
to get our
Yeah.
stories straight.
Yeah, he gave a little bit of background. He was worried. He said that you and Julie Whalen are the only people who have read it so far, and he was
Yep.
worried about getting in trouble with the other cast by giving this away. But he gave us a little breakdown of where Mildred's going in the next one with the family that she discovers. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, we're still on early drafts of it too.
yeah,
So it's not like oh we don't want to tell anybody. Like Higher
yeah,
Universe isn't really like that. A lot
yeah,
of the companies I work for, they're like strict NDAs and
yeah.
like nobody's allowed to post anything, whatever. Higher Universe, we just like anytime we're doing anything, everybody knows about it, and that's
Hmm.
that's the way it is. We're pretty open out in the air. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to tell somebody something and then change it on them. That's not fair.
Yeah,
So that's why we're like a little bit protective over like the script and stuff right
yeah,
now.
for
It
sure.
won't be very long. It'll be a couple months before Brandon has, the full thing and it'll be pretty set in stone and then everybody will know everything. So, and we're not being secretive for any,
Oh no, that's
nefarious
yeah,
reasons. It's just like we're really excited about this and we want it to
yeah,
be as amazing as it can be. And in order for that to happen, we need to put a lot of work into it, right? So
yeah.
we're doing a lot of work behind the scenes, constantly. This today, just what I came from just before our
Yeah.
interview, I was sewing a Mildred dress.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna give you no more information than that. I
Okay.
also learned how to sew this morning.
Nice.
So we'll see how that dress turns out.
You and Julie
But
are going to have to find a new spot to hit each other in this next movie.
yes, we have to find a new spot to hit each other. I suggested bow staffs, like back when we
Okay.
were doing Grotesque 2, because
Mhm.
Grotesque 1 was like hand to hand, that's
Yeah.
it. Grotesque 2 was swords,
Yeah.
fencing, rapiers, that was really good. Foils. And then Grotesque 3, I was like, we should do like bow stabs of some sort. I don't know if that's going to work into the script. We might end up just slapping each other around. But it would be cool to do something
Yeah.
different and new with our big fight scene. I'm not sure what yet.
Did you learn any lessons making the first grotesque that you were able to translate into this that made making the second grotesque easier?
I don't really learn lessons. I just keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Back to therapy session. No. I I mean, yeah, like everything. I don't want to say that like a cop out, but like
Yeah.
everything. Like Grotesque 1 was the first time we did it, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
first time that we made a grotesque movie. Wasn't the first time we made a movie, it wasn't the first time we made a feature or anything,
Yeah.
but it was the first time we made grotesque. So the second time round, I think everything was just much smoother
Yeah.
and better.
I think
So
that you've answered the question through the other answers to the questions that you've given. You've made
yeah,
yourself
probably.
intrinsic to the role. So Mildred became Elizabeth Mildred. So you can't have Mildred without Elizabeth at this point in time because Mildred is now Elizabeth and
It's very true.
they're ubiquitous. They're the same people, you know?
Sometimes when I'm practicing for other
Yeah.
roles, I'll like say
Yeah.
a line and I'll be like, "Oh, that's Mildred. I can't say it
Yeah.
like that." She just like comes out.
So yeah, I think yeah, you've already answered the question, I think.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about I'm Haunted. So these are five found footage genre films that can be viewed on the Found TV streaming service. You can watch it for free with ads. Can you give us a little bit of background on these movies?
I can. Um, so I'm haunted with something. We Brandon and I started I'm Haunted 1 back when I was still in university. Basically, it was like, well, if I can come over, just here and there after class or, in between here and there, which is ridiculous because I did not have spare time for that, but whatever, we did it. And Brandon was like, "Well, you won't have to learn any like there'll be no prep work. You can just show up. I'll give you the words. You learn them right then and there. We'll record it. That'll be that."
Mhm.
Um, so I said yes because I don't say no to Brandon. So I said yes, and we did, and we filmed it just like on his phone, on computer, that kind of stuff as we went. And it's exactly how it was. He would just give me the script. I would read it right then and there. There was a little bit of prep, you have to um, like you have to say like, oh, I'm wearing this outfit on this day, and I had to kind of coordinate a little bit of that,
Yeah.
but there wasn't like a bunch of like line preparation or anything like that, character preparation. He's like, you can mostly just read it in your own voice. You don't really need to, act like that kind of thing. It was
Mhm.
very low key. We did it kind of in our own time, and if we ran behind, I say if we ran behind, we never ran behind, but if we would run behind, it wasn't a big deal kind of thing. We were always ahead. So usually he'd be like, okay, we're gonna do these 6 scenes today or 12 scenes today or something, and we would end up doing 14 or 15. We'd add a couple on to the end.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was nuts how quickly we got through that. And that was kind of the goal, right? It was just like, let's get something done that's basically zero budget. Um, and let's just get it out there. Let's just make something. Because I think a lot of people don't realize how much dead time there is in this industry. It's like, yeah, well, I finally get a gig. Yay, this is
Mhm.
great. And then you get the gig for 2 weeks. What are you going to do for the other 50 weeks of the year? Like
Yeah.
as an actor from the acting side of things, it's very short-lived.
Mhm.
From a production side of things, it's much longer. So, I got done a couple weeks of doing I'm Haunted, and then Brandon went and did the grueling tasks of editing everything together, cutting it up, releasing
Mhm.
it, making posts, etc. And I just got to get the glory of it all, and I'm my face is on everything. And I'm underplaying myself a little bit. I did do a lot of work as well. I made the poster. I made a lot of posts. I helped advertise. I do interviews, etc.
Mhm.
But Brandon really is the mastermind behind it, and there's just no other way to look at it than that. It's just the truth. He wrote it, he pitched it to me, we did it, and then he did all of the hard work at the end of it. Um, and then I'm Haunted 2 happened, and it was always the plan that Genesis Brady wouldn't come back, that it would be a different actor, so that was not a surprise to me. It was a surprise to me when he asked me to come back as a little cameo kind of thing. So I came
Yeah.
back. I mean, I hope that's not spoiler alert, but I do appear in all of the I'm Haunted movies in one way or another. And that's always nice, you know. And then when we were talking about doing I'm Haunted 5,
Yeah.
Brandon reached out to me and, you know, kind of pitched the idea to me. And again, I said yes because I don't say no to Brandon. Uh, and and I was really happy about that
Yeah.
because I've there's been so many people on social media being like, "Oh, like I miss Genesis, I miss Elizabeth, like
Mhm.
she was so great to have and whatever." And obviously, like if they're watching that long, they loved all of the other protagonists as well. And they all did such a good job, all of
Yeah.
them. But I think, you know, people are always, regardless of what movie series it is, they're always trying to get back to how it was like the first time they got involved and whatever. So everybody wanted to see a little bit more of me. So when Brandon pitched it to me and he said, "Okay, I think I have a way that I can make this work where you
Yeah.
can come back," I was instantly like, "Oh, thank goodness!"
Yeah.
It's like I also want to go back. So I'm
Yeah,
glad I
like
did.
the Wes Craven New Nightmare twist. Yeah.
Yep, yep. I really liked it, and honestly,
Yeah.
I told him while we were filming it, I was like, "This is gonna be the biggest one, like
Yeah.
100%. People are gonna go wild for this."
And it has been.
Yep,
Those are very popular.
extremely popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people like uncovering stuff. Like, if you actually have a watcher, a
Mhm.
viewer who has viewed from I'm Haunted 1 and has actually paid attention for all four movies, it's juicy. It is full of information. It is full of things to uncover and discover and
Yeah.
like it's nuts. There's just so much. Like I almost like envy the people who don't know anything about it because it's just
Yeah.
like you know, I never got to uncover everything. I just read the scripts and I did the things, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, there's so much that goes on. And sometimes so that we get lost too. In I'm Haunted 5, there was like again, we were always kind of ahead of schedule. Like there were really very few times where anything ever ran long
Yeah.
or whatever. Like everything just went so smoothly, which it does when you've been working with somebody for 8 years and still choose to work with them because you like them so much. But yeah, there was a moment where Laura Fuentes, Brennan Reines, and I were in the basement of of the big house at the end. I don't
Yeah.
want to be too spoily or whatever,
Okay. Yeah.
but we were all just like standing there in like a triangle, I guess, circle triangle kind of thing, like staring at each other, being like, "Wait, so if this person goes over here, then like this is this blah blah blah," and then Laura's like, "No, that doesn't make sense because this is blah blah blah. Like this happened like 2 movies ago and blah blah blah," and then I'm like, "You guys, like." I just need to focus on like the next two scenes because I don't
Yeah.
know what any of you guys are talking about. Like it was just we were all like freaking the heck out of like
If
of
you
all
keep
of the
doing them, you're
events
going to
of the
need to
story.
hire a continuity expert.
Yeah! We need to like we needed to like take a moment to be like, does any of this make sense? Do we make sense? Whatever. It's so funny. And then Brandon, I think at one point literally just said that where he was just kind of like, you guys we're thinking too hard about this. It's a movie. If somebody's going that hard on it, they're not watching or something. I don't know. He kind
Some
of
nerd
chilled
on
us out a
Reddit's
little
going to
bit.
get real mad about it, though.
Yeah, somebody you watch
Yeah.
every movie. There's always somebody in the comments being like, "Yeah, well, Seer can't possibly be a blah blah blah." It's like, yeah, Seer's also a demon, a ghost. I don't think we, like we're okay.
Are you planning on making more of those?
Well, um, I don't really do the planning.
Okay.
Um, I would like to. I think
Mhm.
it would be great. I think Brandon especially is looking very heavily towards the found footage kind of
Yeah.
scene right now. The thing is, and this is not unique to Higher Universe, but in the indie movie world and just in the movie world in general and just in the art world in general, it is hard to get money.
Yeah.
It is hard to get funding for films. That is the number one thing that make films not happen is financial issues. So, when you are producing something like Grotesque, and it's not like Grotesque's a huge budget, but
Hmm.
it's a bigger budget than, little me or little Brandon or any of us just have in their pocket any given time. Like we need to search outside of ourselves to make these movies happen, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes that puts a damper on things, that puts a stopper on things, and we're sitting there for a little while without anything to do. Don't like that. Don't like sitting there with nothing to do, with no content. We want to be making stuff. That's why we're artists, is because we want to be making stuff. So Brandon goes and looks at these found footage things, which are highly popular.
Yeah.
There's a huge niche for it, and people are addicted to them and whatever. They're they're a really cool medium to tell stories through, and dirt cheap.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, they can be as little as you want to spend on them, which could be zero if you already have a phone. If you have a phone, if you have a good story, which Brandon always has a good story, he's always has a good script, and you have good performers. We also have that.
Yeah.
We also have good actors, so that helps. And yeah, and we already have a little bit of an audience, so all we got to do is just find the time, right? We just find the time, we schedule, we meet together, we make these things, pump them out. That's content for people. That's something we did creatively that nourishes us. And they also do generate a little bit of income too that
Yeah.
can be put towards bigger films. So that's kind of our current plan right now as a company. Not to out ourselves too much. I don't need to go into our like
Yeah.
whole project plan and budget for the next couple of years, but that's the idea. We
Hmm.
get content out there. We get little shorts out there. We get these found footage films out there. They generate a little bit of income, not a lot, but over a long period of time that can add up. And if we're really
Yeah.
smart about it and save, then we end up having enough money for something like Grotesque 3.
Yeah.
Because that one we don't have money for right now. And a lot
No.
of people do give us money, but it's always good to have a little bit of a basis ourselves, right? Like we should be putting in a little bit of our own stuff when we've
Yeah.
already made so many films. If you're just starting out, there's nothing really to go from, but we're not just starting out, so we need to draw from all sources, including our own.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm going to go through some lightning round questions with you now.
Ugh, I
Okay?
don't I don't think I haven't done any like fast answering of any questions this whole
No, but that's
time.
okay. That's okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to pare them down a little bit. I'm not going to ask you all the favorites questions that I have. Okay?
Take a shot every time he says favorite.
Yeah. Ninjas or pirates?
Ninjas.
Ninjas. Okay. See,
Oh, 100%. I'm a huge weeb.
I would have thought that you were a pirates because I could see Mildred as a pirate. No? Okay.
I You asked me what I wanted to be as a child growing up.
Okay.
A
Ninja?
ninja. That's
Oh,
what I wanted to be. That was the first thing. I wanted to be a shinobi.
pretty cool. I wanted to be Batman. So,
Yeah, that's another one. I
yeah.
still want that.
Toilet paper roll. Business in the front or party in the back? Over the top or back behind?
Oh, over the top 100%. Unless you have like a cat or something that's like
Yeah.
gonna like mess with it. Over
Okay.
the top. That's how it's designed.
Favorite breed of dog? I said favorite again.
Breed of dog. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I love dogs. Can just like dog breed be an option? The dog flavor of breed. Honestly, I really like labs.
Okay.
I think labs are just like they have a really good disposition. I don't know if that would be my top favorite. I really like border collies. I would probably say border collies are up there, but border collies are also like a lot.
Yeah.
Like labs are just easygoing. Like you never
Yeah.
like even if you put zero work into a lab, they're still gonna be a freaking awesome dog. So yeah.
Favorite stage show? I said favorite again. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, that's so many favorites.
Okay, I'm not gonna say that one. I'm gonna say s- um I'll say adult beverage of choice.
Oh, I like mojitos. I feel like a lime mojito hits hard. It's kind of always a little bit refreshing. The downside about alcohol is that you dehydrate yourself, right? I mean,
Yeah.
one of the downside. I don't want to get into that, but one of the downsides for me when I kind of go, do I want to drink right now? Because I don't want
Yeah.
to dehydrate myself. But I feel like a mojito, whatever it is always like a little bit nourishing. It is a little bit hydrating, so it kind of like balances itself out.
Okay.
It's not like too sweet and sugary, but it's also not like just taking a shot of whiskey. Like it's not too bad. Can we go back to theater show though? Whoa,
Yeah, theater show. Sorry, I
you
said
nailed
favorite again. I
that.
thought you wanted me to cut off a favorite. Okay. What's the
um,
best theater show? And bonus, you can answer a bonus question in there for your favorite musical number in the show.
oh, okay. Well, Into the Woods is probably my favorite musical, if I had to
Right,
pick
which one
one.
did you say?
Into the Woods.
Into the Woods. Okay.
I'm a huge Stephen Sondheim fan. I always wanted to meet him. Obviously, that didn't happen. But just favorite composer of all time, Stephen Sondheim, 100%. Anyway, my favorite song in that show,
Yeah.
I don't even know. Probably like the mashup at the end with like Children Will Listen, They're Not on Our Side, whatever. Like all of that little, I don't remember what the actual title of the song is, but like that little mashup at the end is so nice. I thought about doing a while ago like a whole like Stephen Sondheim mashup because it
Hmm.
to me it almost felt like he was writing one song his whole life and it just came out in a bunch of different forms, you know? Like a lot of times people would be like, "Oh, all of his music sounds the same." Well, it doesn't. It doesn't sound the same, but it does
Hmm.
have this like central like heartstring chord that kind of ties them all together. I feel like it would make a beautiful medley of just like all of his music. I feel like you could do it. Like there's so much that overlaps between Into the Woods and Sweeney Todd, especially. I just feel
Hmm.
like you could just like you could do those musicals inside out, like with them woven together, and it would still all sound like a part of the same universe. Oh, he's just brilliant. Just a brilliant guy. So maybe that. I also really like The Last Midnight. Like that's like if I could just like rock out a song at any given time, probably that. I'm a huge fan of the witch in that one. I
Hmm.
really like her garden rap as well. The rap. Greens, greens, nothing but greens, that one. Yeah. Ooh. You got me going.
I
You're
guess
like
a good one.
lightning round. I'm like,
Excellent.
you got me going though.
Yes. If Elizabeth Chamberlain were a Pokemon, which Pokemon would Elizabeth Chamberlain be?
Oh God, I tell you, I wouldn't be a very powerful one at all. I'd be one of those like, I'd be one of the ones that people are like, ah, but like, like maybe Vulpix. Like
Okay.
I wouldn't even be Ninetales. I wouldn't be like the full Firefox. I would just be like Vulpix. Yeah, probably.
All right. Tell me about your video games. The video games you were playing.
I love video games. Right now I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom. Well,
Okay.
I'm pretty much done Tears of the Kingdom, which is like so sad. I don't know if you
Yeah.
get that, but like after playing a video game, I'm just like, what? Like, I
Yeah.
just feel like despondent. I get so sad.
I've sunk 140 hours into this thing, and now what
Yeah.
am I gonna do? Yeah.
Now what does my life amount to? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know anymore. Anyway, so that would be one that is probably one of my favorites. Like just Zelda in general
Yeah.
is just a lifelong favorite of mine. And Tears of the Kingdom is not even one of the best Zelda games, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm into that. Uh, um what else? One of my first like when I got into really seriously gaming that just changed everything for me was
Mhm.
Skyrim. I was
Yeah.
huge into Skyrim. That just like I was like, oh, video games are life.
Yeah.
And I really like Mass Effect, the Mass Effect series.
Yeah.
I never ended up playing Andromeda, which I don't know why, but the one to three was
You
so
know what?
good.
I never played through Andromeda either. I own it. I
Yeah,
never played through it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what that's about, so I really should. I heard it wasn't like tremendous, but I feel like again, even with
Yeah.
movie series and stuff like that, everybody does that. Everybody goes, "Oh, we want another one," and then it's always chasing the high of the first game.
Yeah.
Although with Mass Effect, the second one was unobjectively the best.
Yeah.
I was also a huge fan of Assassin's Creed, and that's another one that's
Hmm.
like that, where it's like, oh my God, like Assassin's Creed 1 was just like, awesome. And
Yeah.
then Assassin's Creed 2 and 3 was just like, oh,
Yeah.
like this is the shit. Like
Yeah.
this is goals. And then spoiler alert, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed, click away. And then Desmond dies and everything went downhill, and it's like, oh,
I think it had highs and lows. Like
yes. And
there
I
were
and I
some
will say
lows,
that.
and then Syndicate was really good. The one with
Yeah.
in England. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like since then,
Yeah.
it's not like it's all been downhill. Like
Yeah.
they've had really good games. It's just like it did kind of go through a dip. So I played four
Yeah.
and five, and then it was like, I don't know.
Did you
It's
go
too
back for
bad because
Valhalla though? Valhalla was a chef's kiss. Valhalla was great.
yes, I
Yeah.
quite enjoyed Valhalla as
Yeah.
well, but yeah, I don't know.
Big
So
game
yeah, I'm
nerd
super
too.
into like RPGs.
Yeah.
Not huge into like first person shooter. Not into like GTA or anything like that either. Like I'm just like I'm there for the story. I'm
Yeah.
there for the character building, for the world building. Love open concept games, open world games. And anything that has a little bit of nostalgia, I'll go for. Like I still play Animal Crossing. I'm not really into like cozy games, but like I can't not go back to that. That's my childhood, right? So
Well, We like the same video game, so fist bump through the.
Yeah.
All right. I don't do the first person shooter thing either, really.
Yeah, I
Other than
did. Like when I was a kid, I played Halo and I played
yeah,
Modern Warfare 1 and 2. And sorry, no, I didn't play 1. I played
no,
2 and 3. I was like, wait a minute. I played Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and it's like, yeah, it's okay,
yeah. I
but it's
played
just okay.
Overwatch with my son and his fiance, but
Oh, sweet, 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 sweet.
yeah, but apart from that, I'm functional. I'm functional, and that's it.
Yeah, and I played a lot of MMOs too,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
like just in my life. Like I loved Elder Scrolls Online,
yeah,
coming back from Skyrim as well. I played World of Warcraft when I was a
yeah,
kid way too much. That was a problem. I had a problem with that game. I'm
yeah.
not allowed to play that game anymore.
It's on my desktop right now, so.
Yeah, good for you. Good, good, good.
Yeah, I've put I think 100 hours into Coral Island lately,
Oh yeah.
which is the kind of like a Stardew Valley, it's a higher concept Stardew Valley. You can do all the same stuff that you could do in Stardew Valley, but it looks nicer.
We like that. We like
Yeah,
that.
one of my coworkers got me on that one. So,
Oh, cool.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here. You're incredibly talented, and I'm so lucky that you agreed to do this interview on my small YouTube channel. Your career is taking off in a big way right now, and you have so many projects in various states of production. Are there any that you're excited to tell us about that you want to plug right now?
Well, I agree with you. I am super talented. No, I agree with you that that my career does feel like it's very much on the precipice right now. Something that a lot of people like the number one question I get asked when I do get recognized out and about.
Yeah.
People go like, "Oh, when can I see this?" or "When can I see that?" or "When is this movie released?" or whatever. And it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I go and I do my acting thing and then I leave. Like I don't know what happens in post production. I mean, I know what happens, but I'm not up to date with everything that happens. So I have a whack load of films that I have filmed that have not been released, and that is starting in 2026.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ongoing all the time, but a lot of my films are going to start to be released in 2026. In January, in Las Vegas, we're having a premiere for Skate to Hell. Actually, I should start with November. Next month in Edmonton, on the 14th of November, we are doing Contamination. We're doing a premiere of that. It's a theatrical Canadian premiere for Contamination with Brimstone Pictures, where I play Captain Hiller in that. And
Hmm.
then yeah, in January on the 15th, on in the middle of January sometime, I think on the 15th. Yeah, in Las Vegas, that's when Skate to Hell is going to be premiered. That is my second film with Sean C. Phillips, where I play Ruby. And then it's just onward and upward from there. Like they're just all throughout 2026 and 2027. All of these movies that I've been working on for the last couple of years, are all going to start getting pumped out there. So I'm really excited because I'm actually going to have an answer for people when they go, oh, where can I watch this? I'm going to like follow the QR code or whatever,
Yeah.
um, I have an answer for you finally. You can actually see my stuff. So that's good.
Yeah.
I do on my website on elizabethchamberlain.com. I do have a watch page where you can go see everything that is released. There's just links to all the stuff that's out
Okay.
there. I will update that as it goes.
Yeah. I'll put a link to
Um,
that in the description as well.
yeah, that sounds good.
Uh-huh.
And then lots of stuff you can just find. Like if you just type in like Elizabeth Chamberlain Hotbox, boom, it'll pop up.
Okay.
If it's out there or not, you know. Um, and yeah, and then just recently, Please Stay, Julie Wayland's
Mhm.
award-winning film, is a short film, but it was released just a couple weeks ago, so that one's on YouTube as well. You can watch that anytime. Lots. There's lots. I would highly recommend I'm Haunted 5. I That's a super special place in my heart because that was so fun to make with Brandon. And with Laura as well. Laura is just a frickin' gem and she's so talented.
Mhm.
So I'd highly recommend that as well.
Okay. And
Yeah,
if a producer wants to get a hold of you, how can they do
it
that?
is. My email is the best bet.
Okay.
Email at elizabethchamberlain.com is my email
Okay.
address. That's what I respond to most for like work-based, career-based kind of questions. And I'm happy. I'm happy to talk about things and negotiate and figure things out. And if things don't work, it's not the end of the world either. That happens all the time. Sometimes I hear way after a project that a producer didn't reach out to me because they were like, "Oh, you seem too busy," or like, "We thought maybe you'd be too expensive," or whatnot. It's like I'm game to make things work. If somebody
Yeah.
wants to work with me, I want to work with them, right? So, I'm willing to figure it out, whatever it needs to be.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. This was awesome.
Yeah, thank
I can't wait to
you.
do it again. Maybe we can do it when one of your next movies comes out, and I'll do
That
a wrap a
sounds
review into it.
that sounds like a really good idea. We should do that. Yes.
All right. We can talk more about video games.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good. And dogs.
Yes, and
Not
dogs.
movies.